What's good, folks? We back. Today, we're gonna be diving into the twisted minds of the most dangerous villains in the Walking Dead series. Listen, you got your manipulators, you got your cannibals. We're gonna be going over all of them, and I'm gonna break them down. Listen, we breaking them down into categories. First, we're gonna be ranking their danger level, then their manipulation skills, then the impact on the story, and of course, we're gonna be ranking how brutal they are as a whole. Now, first up, we got Carver. This guy, he kind of what happens when you give someone a little too much power and he let it get to his head a little bit. Carver, he's not just a physical threat, he kind of like the leader who keeps the whole group in line. But the way he keep it in line is through fear and intimidation. He trying to be the big ward at the prison, keeping everybody in line that way. And it makes him extremely dangerous. So for danger level, I gotta give him a 9 out of 10. But on to the next category. Listen, he knows how to play mind games, using fear to bend others to his will, and his ability to manipulate people into situations like that is kind of impressive. Like, I would think more people would turn against him than they actually did. But manipulation skills, I gotta give him an 8 out of 10. Now we talking about his impact on the story. Listen, as soon as Carver get to that cabin, you could just feel, I just felt the ook when I got to him. Like, I just felt something was off about this dude. So his impact in the story is felt throughout the whole game, and it really creates a big turning point for that cabin group that really affects Clementine's journey. And let me tell you, that cabin group, they was cheeks. That's why they, you know what, let's not talk about a cabin group right now. Carver's impact on the story, 9 out of 10. Hey, he was a huge part of that story. Brutality now. Listen, let's not sugarcoat it. His methods, oh yeah, they crazy. Like, just think about bro on the roof. Bro is on the roof, all he had to do was get people to cut little bushes, and Sarah ain't want to cut them. And since she ain't cut him, this man Carver threw bro off the building. Like, come on, you can't tell me that's not brutal for no reason. So for this, I'm gonna have to give him a 10 out of 10. Listen, Carver, one of the most brutal people. And to total up his full score, he got 36 out of 40. Now coming up next, we got Lilly. Now if you think about it, she kinda the first person that we see transforms into a villain throughout the final season. Alright, so danger level, Lilly started as the leader and she quickly showed that she'll do whatever it takes to protect her own, even if it means hunting down little kids at a school. Like, that's kind of crazy. But for danger level herself, I gotta give her a 7 out of 10. Listen, she is very dangerous. But on to the next category, manipulation skills. She can manipulate. Listen, she can be manipulative, and the way she does it, I don't think it's through fear. At least not in the way that Carver does it. Listen, I don't think she'll throw someone off a building just because, but I do think she'll put you in a situation that you gotta do something, and you might see your loved ones get lost. Like, look at Merman. What's her name? Is it Merman? Hey, red haired chick on the screen right now, that one. But look at her. She was manipulated to believing that it was the best, and it wasn't Lilly just causing her pain. It was her putting her in a situation that she couldn't get out of. So manipulation skills, I gotta give it a 7 out of 10, because I feel like she don't have as much control over her manipulated victims as Carver would. But the impact on the story, listen, her return, it shakes up the entire dynamic of the group, and really it showcases how far she's willing to go. So for impact on the story, I gotta give her an 8 out of 10. Now brutality, Lilly, she got no problem going violent when it suits her needs, especially in like high stakes situations. Look on the boat, she was ready to, she was got the knife out, she was trying to stab everybody, she was just going crazy. So brutality, I gotta give her an 8 out of 10. So total score, 30 out of 40. Hey, I won't underestimate her. Now we get into another juicy part, the Andy St. John family. As for their danger level, listen, they use all their skills to make them even more dangerous than they really are. So Danger level, I gotta give them an 8 out of 10. They're some dangerous folks. And not only that, listen, they'll lure you in with safety, comfort, and some of them biscuits before revealing their dark secret. And they really got some good manipulation skills. So manipulation skills, I gotta give them a 9 out of 10. As for the impact they had on the story, listen, their betrayals, it was shocking and it could have led to some crazy stuff. And it almost led to Clem eating some human meat. I'm pretty sure not everybody made it in time. So for story impact, I gotta go with 8 out of 10. Cause listen, the good thing about Walking Dead is there's always multiple villains and one villain won't drive the whole story. Listen, the Annie St. John family, they was just the first part of the first season. So 8 out of 10, it suits them real well. Now for the brutality. Listen, they're cannibals. What else do you need? Like, what else can you do? They're cannibals. What else I gotta say? Brutality, 10 out of 10. Listen, we don't see none of these other people's taking a delight in some human feats. Like, so brutality, yeah, definitely 10 out of 10. So that total score, 35 out of 40. Listen, they definitely earned a seat at the villain table right there. They definitely top of that list. We got Jonah. Jonah from the New Frontier. Listen, I want to keep it honest. She's a politician. That's really the best way to describe her. A dark politician with some corruption. So danger level, hey, Jonah sees the mastermind at playing the political games using her position to manipulate and control others from the shadows. Hey, score, I gotta give it a 5 out of 10. Cause her herself, I don't think she's that dangerous. Here's where it gets juicy. Manipulation skills. Listen, the way she goes behind everybody back and just control the entire community by herself, hey, her wits from that, it makes her way more dangerous than any other person when it comes to manipulation skills. So for manipulation skills, I'm gonna give her a 9 out of 10. Just because, listen, I had a docker point because you couldn't manipulate David enough. But definitely a 9 out of 10. One of the most manipulative characters in the whole series. Now, for impact on the story, it took a whole lot of chaos and enrichment. And it really directly affected the fate of the entire group. And not only the entire group, but everybody in that season. So, I'm going to have to give it a 7 out of 10. Because she wasn't there to really cause it. But she was impactful from the story with that. Now, for brutality. Listen, she prefers to keep her hands clean, but she is willing to sacrifice anybody to keep their power, and it kind of makes her a little bit ruthless. So brutality, I gotta give her a 6 out of 10. A total score for her, we got 27 out of 40. Listen, she a master at playing the political games, and you know, that's what she do. Now, next we gonna be talking about the Stranger. The Stranger, he's the one from season 1, the one who tried to kidnap Clem. And this kind of villain, he kind of make my skin crawl. Danger level. He's not that physically threatening. And you know, he more the type to play psychological games. This leaves you with an unsettling feeling. So for danger level, I gotta give him a 6 out of 10. Now manipulation skills. Listen, like I said, this man, he excels at mind games. He used guilt to manipulate people. And that kind of makes him very terrifying. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Hey, I ain't say nobody was compared to Jonah, but I forgot about this man. But impact on the story, listen, the confrontation with the Stranger and Lee, like, it affects the whole story a good bit. So I'm gonna give this impact on the story a 8 out of 10. Brutality. He's not physically violent, but I will say he emotionally violent.
Emotional damage.
Listen, I don't know if that make any sense to anybody, but it makes sense to me. So yeah, brutality, 6 out of 10. That makes his total score 29 out of 40. Listen, he a villain who know how to play mind games. He wasn't that physical threat, but he was a very interesting villain. And he a really good villain as well. Next villain we got. Hey, this one, I got beef with him. We got Arvo. Listen, maybe someone could say Arvo not a villain, but he's the biggest op in my book. So, danger level. He's not the biggest threat in the world. And his desperation, it leads him into dangerous situations. So, danger level, I gotta give him a 4 out of 10. Like, that bro didn't had a thing on him. Yeah, Clementine could have drop kicked him or something. Like, come on, man. Arvo not that dangerous for real. Now, manipulation skills. Listen, do you think it'd be crazy for me to say that his manipulation skills is because how pathetic he look? Like, that's really why Bonnie and Mike really took his side. Cause hey, Kenny was putting a beating on bro, and bro was just taking it. So manipulation skills, I don't give him a 6 out of 10. Listen, I don't know how to explain it, cause it's not really a skill. It just look at him. They makes him want to help him just looking at him. But as for the impact on story, listen, his betrayal, it hits hard for the group, and it really leads to crazy consequences later on. So the score for impact on the story, I'm gonna give him a 7 out of 10. Now, brutality. He's not physically violent, but bro do shoot Clem even if she wanna join him. So for that, I give him a 4 out of 10. So his total score of 21 out of 40. Listen, he's more of a I can't stand him, but he is somewhat of a villain, and he's not the very best villain. Now let's talk about Badger. So Badger, he's the guy from the New Frontier. This guy, he kind of just a straight up menace. Like, bro, get him off the streets. His danger level, listen, he is a physical threat, and he enjoy what he do. He willing to do whatever it takes to get his way with stuff, and he really just a little puppet. But danger level, 8 out of 10. Listen, he's the brute force that I was talking about. Now for the manipulation skills, while I think he's a puppet, I feel like he do know how to push people around a little bit. So I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 10. But the impact on the story, his violent actions, they really create an emotional fallout for the group. It really stops them from having that trust that they used to have and that safety. You know, they lost their car because of this guy. So his impact on the story, I gotta give it a 7 out of 10. Now, brutality. Badger, you know, he's just like violence and chaos, and he don't really care for human life that much. So I'm gonna have to give him 8 out of 10. So that brings his total score 28 out of 40. Last but not least, we got Abel from the final season. And listen, he a nasty piece of work. Danger level, I gotta give him a 6 out of 10, because Abel, he might not be the strongest, but he is dangerous enough to be taken seriously. Now listen, I know Lilly said that she was his best man, but I don't know, I just feel like his danger level is just alright. I don't think he'll sound crazy. Listen, a one-arm Abel is nowhere near a one-arm Lee. One-arm Lee will run laps around this man, so I'm gonna give Abel a 6 out of 10. Now, manipulation skills, he not the sharpest tool in the shed, I'm gonna say it like that. And I feel like his manipulation, it comes through him smoking them nasty cigs and kind of intimidating people. So for that, I gotta give his manipulation skills a 7 out of 10. Now, as for his impact on the story, it's there. I'm not gonna lie, it's there, but it's not that big of an impact. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I feel like he wasn't even the main villain. So 6 out of 10, it fit Abel pretty well. Now for his brutality, this man, he gonna harm anybody. Listen, he was trying to harm anybody at the school. We already know his brutality, I gotta give it an 8 out of 10. That brings his total score up to 27 out of 40. So there you have it. That's the breakdown of the most dangerous villains in The Walking Dead. Listen, each of them, they kind of bring a unique flavor to the table. But who do you think is the best villain? And I'm gonna put all the points things down here, the little recap. And how good do you think this point system works? Do you think that this list of people like actually reflects how good the villain is? Or do you think that this is a terrible list and Arvo is the best villain? But with that being said, like, subscribe, thanks for watching. And if you want to see more Walking Dead content, hey, I got it. I done did a whole lot of Walking Dead videos. And we out.